Hello, VC. Today, I've been inspired to show my cassette collection of the cassettes I have. This was inspired by Trish Mullins here on YouTube, which she shows her cassettes and whatnot. So I'm going to share some of the ones that I have, being that cassettes no longer exist as far as out in the retail world. Plus I have some Beatles CD singles that were produced back in the late 80s as well. So let's get to it. The first one I have is Ringo Starr's Weight of the World cassette single from his Time Takes Time album. Let's see, you got George Harrison's Dark Horse album. The only reason is a couple of reissue, and the only reason why I didn't waste my money buying it because I wanted to hear that song Ding Dong Ding Dong, which wasn't available anywhere else but on this. And this is, before internet, so you gotta buy the album or don't listen to it. Got Eric Clapton Live in the 70s, Volume 2. I bought this when I was in high school. The Beatles Yellow Submarine soundtrack. Eric Clapton 461 Ocean Boulevard. I have this on CD. It's a great album. I love a lot of songs on it. 5 great songs. Eric Clapton. There's a timepieces. McCartney 2. I think these cassette issues like this were rushed because they didn't really fill up the whole face of the cassette, just made one small picture, so it was just something they just threw out there, I guess. I got this at a yard sale, flea market rather. Beatles Abbey Road cassette. It says Capitol on the front, but on the actual cassette itself it has the Apple label. And also the sequencing of this, they have Here Comes the Sun opening side 1 and Come Together opening side 2. And the 80s release of the Beatles White Album on cassette. I didn't get the vinyl release of that until years later. John Fogerty, self-titled, 1975. But this is not a 1975 cassette. It's printed back in the 80s. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is an interesting one. Beatles Rock and Roll Music Volume 1. I got this at a Kmart store back in probably 84, 85, somewhere in that neighborhood. And what's really interesting about it, that it's on the EMI Parlophone label, not Capitol. just still getting into the Beatles at the time, collecting their albums, whatnot. I was really shocked to see that I knew enough about it to know that that's not a U.S. Release of the tape. Somehow it got over here. And the little inner paper running time. Running order. You see at the bottom it says copyright 1981. This right here is an oddball tape, titled The Beatles. It says copyright 1983 audio fidelity special markets, whatever that means. But it's basically a little compilation of the early stuff. Probably some Renegade pressing or tape of it. Probably something that it was short-lived. I just found it at a record store. We got Paul McCartney, Tug of War. Great album. Still has the price code. I don't remember what I paid for this. Probably wasn't much. And really, I don't even know where I bought it. It doesn't have the identification. It could have been Camelot or it could have been Record Town. I think Camelot where I got it. Ringo Starr, Starstruck, Best of Ringo Starr Volume 2 before I got the CD. Bought this in '87. Cloud 9 cassette. I wish I'd have gotten the vinyl copy at the time. Let's see here. We got John Lennon, Imagine, digitally remastered. Means Wildlife. John Lennon, Behind Games. Ringo, Blast from Your Past. Venus of Mars, Paul McCartney and Wings. And I would go as far as making my own tapes, listen to them in my car when I had a cassette player in my car back in those days. Actually, I think I had a friend of mine make this because I think he had the album. A lot of these, like the Material World, I think a lot of these were recorded by a friend of mine, or I had the album and recorded it for my car, or recorded it from somebody I used to know that had a bunch of Beatles stuff. And show a few of these in the late '80s. They Capitol had Parlophone, whatever, released some Beatles CD singles. This is before the Past Masters emerged, and a lot of y'all might remember these. Came in their own little jewel box. And back then, you had to buy the adapter ring to play these in the CD players at that time. because the CDs were new, were so small, and the CD players weren't made for it, because these were Johnny Come Lately. So you had to buy the inner ring. I used to have that inner ring. I have no clue what happened to it. It could have gotten thrown away or what have you. But the first two, Paperback Writer and Hey Jude, are in mono. And these next two are in stereo. Ballad of John and Yoko. And the Beatles, Let It Be. And I got one last cassette single. That's, I've had this since the, I want to say, the 80s. The thing is when it was made. But anyway, it was from Paul McCartney's live double CD. Well, let's say it's double CD set. Tripping the Live Fantastic was a big concert CD, and I had bought this at a little hole-in-the-wall record store, and it was the cassette single Birthday off that album. Okay, I got Still Sealed for a reason. It's not that I don't want to listen to it, and I don't know how many probably got by, because I really don't know. But on the back, it shows Birthday. Then on the B side, well, actually, I think they're both songs on each. I guess they're both songs are on one side each. I guess, but the second song on the tape anyway is "Good Day Sunshine," with a live version, of course. But notice Sunshine misspelled. I don't know how many of these got by. But that's why I've never opened it. I figure at some point it's going to be worth some money if I could only find out, how many got by and whatnot. But that's a keeper right there. I mean, that's a keeper. So that's all my tapes. I collected a lot more records and tapes at the time. And just want to say back when I was a teenager, people next door, across the street from us rather, my youngest brother was friends with their son, and they were Beatles fans. They were, they had all the American albums, of course. And I used to take the albums, and they let me borrow them. I go put my record player, put my speakers on the floor, and all you people like me that grew up in the 80s probably remember the boom boxes. My brother had one, and I used to stick the cassette tapes down in it there and set against the speakers, play the record, and record it so I'd have a copy. That's my way of getting it. And unfortunately, a lot of those tapes disappeared over time. And I've looked for them around here. They're just gone, I guess. So unfortunately, that's a little nostalgia that I no longer have, but a memory of. So anyway, that's my tapes. I hope you enjoy it. Please leave a comment below, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.